All right, so there's a big, I don't know about a big push. There's a push to be like, from young people to be actual socialists, or they try to say socialists, but really they want communism instead of capitalism. Here's the problem. We're no longer in a predominantly capitalist society. We're in a socialist economy. The problem is it's socialism for the corporations. So, right? And then even socialism, so I'm going to say this first and then I'm going to explain. So even socialism for people, the problem is it relies on other people. And what are people? People are greedy and selfish. So the the pie in the sky thought, that's not the word I'm looking for, but the thinking is that everybody will be basically middle class, right? Everybody's going to have it pretty good. The problem is the people in charge are not going to be middle class. The people in charge are going to be elites. You're going to have elite and poor. That's how it's going to end up being. And it's because of people, right? So like one guy I watch, he says the only reason socialism has never worked is because U.S. sanctions those countries or blah, 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 which probably is pretty true. But I would say even if they didn't, even if we didn't do that to those countries are probably going to turn into elites and poors. Because when somebody that is pretty well off has to give up some of their stuff for everybody else, right? They're going to be like, dude, fuck this. And they're going to figure out a way to sneak money and to sneak stuff. And they're going to be elites. And then their friends are going to be like, hey, dude, what are you doing with all this shit in your house? Why can't I have that? And then they're going to have to start giving in to their friends so their friends don't tell on them to the people, right? So what ends up happening is elites and poor. Not everybody is middle class, okay? So here's my solution. The other day, Chico had one, he talked about healthcare in itself. Kids and old people, the basic rundown. Kids and old people, just take care of them, right? Once you graduate high school, until you're retired, you should have insurance, but your basic needs are met, right? Your checkup, your dental, your vision, all this stuff is coming out of your taxes, okay? It's not free healthcare. That's the problem, is the salesmanship of it, is you're not giving free healthcare. It's your taxes are paying for it, right? Instead of our taxes going to all these wars, it should be going to take care of American people, right? And that's healthcare. Everybody thought it was such a great thing that Obama got people insurance, except for what happened is people started not getting as many hours at work because the corporations have a loophole of, if you don't get 32 hours, you know what? I don't have to pay insurance. Because, and first off, and on top of that, you know what they do? You're paying for it. Why not just make it, why are you taking it out of the worker's pocket to have to pay for this insurance, right? Just give them the fucking health care for their taxes. It's stupid. And like the one guy says, he said, look, the Medicare it's the same doctor. And look, you want to go to a doctor that's not in the Medicare covered places and have your own doctor? Great, do it. So therefore it's part capitalist and part socialist. That's the way it needs to be. It doesn't need to be one or the other. It needs to be a mix of everything. That's how you make everybody happy, right? So that wasn't the point I was going to make. So I was going to talk about socialism not going to work because it's not going to give you what you think. You think it's going to be, everybody's going to be middle class and pretty even, and it's not. Okay, that's one thing. Healthcare, I already talked about. And veterans, war veterans should be taken care of forever. I mean, it's great that we have community stuff. That should be extras, right? Like Wounded Warrior and DAB. That should be extra stuff for the veterans. They should be just taken care of. And I kind of don't really think they are, at least not to the level they should be. It's kind of got, homeless, right? We have so many buildings all over the place that have nothing in them, and have had nothing in them for years upon years upon years. Those should be turned into homeless places where a nurse can come, like more shelters, basically, right? The problem with the shelters for homeless is they're so random and spaced out that we can't get them in there. There should be some kind of way I talked about this once before too. There should be some kind of way to make them I likened it to prison because I've been there, right? So in prison, what you have to do is you have to work, right? You have to work in the laundry, you have to work in the cafeteria, right? There's no reason we can't help homeless people out. Give them some kind of room in these buildings, have a cafeteria of a couple meals a day, right? Just real basic food. Have a laundry there, right? So everything can be clean. There should be showers there, right? How can you police the showers? I don't know. But you have to work. Like, have these homeless people work like one day every here and there in each one of the things. Look, and then now you gotta, like, there's a dude that lives over here now. He lives out in my field, and he just got homeless, and he just makes his little pallet. But anyways, I think he's the type of guy that would do something like that. Now, of course, there's going to be some that aren't going to do it, but think about how many people actually would get off the streets and into a place like that. Once you get into a place like that, a little roof over your head, blah, 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 then I saw something the other day that 40% of homeless are actually working, right? So think about those people. They would have a roof over their head. They could then put some of their money back, possibly, hopefully. Oh, there's the one that was going to be my main one today, and I finally got to it, right? Because I hadn't talked about the homeless thing. Affordable housing. There should be affordable housing everywhere, right? So, and here's the problem. The problem is, again, all the regulations are going against people, right? Like people that own this duplex or people that own a house over there. They have so many regulations that they got to go by. So I'm talking about affordable housing. We have all these apartments around, right? So this is a really cool area where I live. These duplexes right here. So where I live, pretty crappy, right? Pretty ghetto. The apartments across the street, pretty ghetto. But you know what they've done? We just went up $300 a month. Across the street went up $500 a month for their apartments, for like 2-bedroom apartments. That's ridiculous. These apartment buildings, I'm not saying rent controlled, but there should be no way they can go up that much in one shot, right? So in this area, we have a lot of Mexicans and a lot of Africans and a few Middle Easterns, right? That are kind of up and coming, right? They're just families trying to make it, right? They're probably not going to go anywhere. So, but when they raise the rent $300 a month, all these people, most of them don't speak English or very good, right? And not even just the soft, broken English. Anyways, that's a side, another tangent. That's what I do. But that's what should be controlled. Then we have, so my condos and then the apartments across the way just raise the prices a lot, right? So, but we used to be pretty much the ghetto. And then there's a couple apartments across the street, across the big street, over on the Richardson side. They're nicer, right? So they're people with a little bit more money. And then on the other side of that is, like down the road a ways, is a bunch of lower class apartments. What are you getting excited about, dude? That guy over there, right? So super cheap, right? So some of the people from these apartments had to move over there So they're not as nice as ours. They're a little more ghetto, but they're still affordable, right? But what I'm saying is the apartments should be regulated where they can't raise it that much. Apartments are making money, dude. And then those are the ones getting tax breaks. These people that own these places and are leasing it out, they're getting jacked on taxes, right? All the little guys are getting jacked on taxes. So anyways, back to this neighborhood and how it's nice and mixed, right? All neighborhoods should be pretty mixed, I think. Right, so these duplexes, then you get into the, I call the nice side of the tracks. On the other side of these duplexes, you got some really nice houses, right? Some pretty well-off people mixed with younger, well-off people. And then you have duplexes in over there too that are nicer than these ones, right? So these ones are like 14 to 16. Those ones over there are like 16 to 18, right? Some of them are even more than that, but some of them are like 6-bedroom side of a duplex, right? It's crazy. And then the houses across the street are great for, like, they're older, but they're still nice, so it's a nice neighborhood. But they're like, you know, younger, up-and-coming people with few old people. So it's a super mixed area, right? And that's the way all neighborhoods should be, because that's where you get into, that's why I talked about racism yesterday. That's where you get into white people feeling sorry for black people or not understanding them in the least, and then to somewhat being racist that way. Not like racist mean-wise, but racist disrespect-wise. Because they're not around them. You know what I mean? And then you have a lot of, I ain't gonna get into all that crap. Anyways, all neighborhoods should be mixed, and then the housing should be somewhat controlled corporate-wise, right? So all these apartments should not be able to raise their prices some outrageous thing, right? If people selling houses, they raise their rent $600 to $1,000. Who cares? That's a person. They're going to have to pay their taxes on that. The problem with the apartments going up is that money's not going into taxes. That money's going into that apartment's pockets. Because they're making money and they're getting tax breaks. You can bet yourself that. More so the bigger apartments than the little ones. Was I supposed to talk about something else? We're at 13 minutes. That's pretty long. Anyways, that's more on fixing. What did I talk about? A little bit of helping homeless, housing. There's one other thing that Chico was supposed to talk about. Look, in 12 minutes, I forgot what I started talking about because I'm old. Oh, healthcare, right? So more on healthcare being a mix of capitalist socialists. I still think that's the way to go. And we do have some programs, right? Like all the welfare programs. They just need to be revamped, man. Like, people take advantage of it, and don't say that they don't, because they do. The majority don't. But if there were better, what was that called? Not restrictions. If there's better, I don't know, oversight, I guess, of it, you'd have less. So the people that are using it to actually get a hand up instead of a handout would be cool. The people that are trying to take advantage of it, hey, there's got to be some penalties for that, right? There's consequences to everything, right? What's the other point? I don't know. Out of here. Oh, what happened there? Oh, 15 minutes. That's a long time. Yeah, war's stupid. We don't need to be in all these wars. You people think the Democrats are the good side. The Democrats are the ones starting all these wars, not putting any money into anything that they tell you they're going to do. They tell you they're going to do all kinds of stuff. Ain't done none of it. Now, I could say that's all politicians. Dude. Because it is. It's all of them. They all get corrupted by money and power. Gets them all. Oh, that's the other problem with socialism, is money and power corrupts, right? So, even if you found somebody that's like me that could care less about money, could care less about things, would like to help people more, eventually that power's going to get them, right? Now, I've been in power in businesses and it didn't change me, right? So, when I say power, somebody's always got somebody, you've always got somebody to answer to, but when I was in places of positions of power, I used it to fight for the working people, right? Because the working people deserved it. And what happens with most people is they get into those leadership positions and they're like, you know what? I made it. Screw them, right? It's just a matter of when they get to that point, right? Is it 3 years? Is it 6 years? At some point, it's going to happen. Because it's a human thing. It's just, you have to fight that urge, and some people can't. Anyways, I've now gone 6 minutes past where I wanted to. I lost my train of thought. Maybe less than usual. Alright. Have a good one. Later. That's socialism in itself is stupid. A mix of capitalism, socialism would be great. You hate capitalism because you don't understand that we're in a corporate socialist society, or said easier, a corporatist society. It benefits the corporations. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say is people say it doesn't work, right? It's because it's not working for them, right? So every day I'm walking these streets. I see so many cars with magnets on it, or cars and trucks, right? Landscapers, painters. There's me doing dog training. All these dog trainers that are out there. That's all capitalism at work for the little guy. Now, some people just don't have ambition to do that stuff, right? Some people don't have ambition to have a business or try to do a business. But then they're the ones that are complaining about it, right? The lazy ones. So if you hate capitalism, it's because of three things. You're young and ignorant, so you don't see. I should say young and inexperienced. Young, that's ignorance. You just don't know, right? Ignorance is not a big deal. It just means you don't know. You don't see, right? You're brainwashed by the system, because that's what the system wants you to think. They want you to think you can't make it. They want you to think that they're going to do something for you when they're never going to do anything for you. But they've got you under control, right? All right, I got to go. I'm getting, the FBI is going to come after me for this one.